Back with Andy Tudor from Nexus Minerals this morning on site at Wallbrook. Andy, morning.
Morning, Andrew.
Well, big news this week, Andy. This 10,000 metre regional aircore drill program at Wallbrook now underway. Just tell us a bit more about what you're following up on.
Yeah, the rig started following up on MC 2.1, which was the sort of standout of the first round of the first of the first of these 18 prospects that we're testing out here, and really some of the best results were in the most northerly line that we tested. So immediately, that's an easy place to head straight back to with the first part of this program. So, roughly 2,500 or so meters is planned for each of these four areas that we're testing this time. But yeah, straight back to MC 2.1 first. So the rig started a couple of days ago. All going well. You can see behind me, beautiful weather out here. And at the moment, the guys have got their eyes in, and they're happy with what they're seeing coming out of the ground. So we're very nimble and agile in this program, and with our recent successful cap raise, we're able to really mix and match and move where we want to go. So as the guys keep seeing the good results and the good rocks coming out of the ground, they'll keep going and keep finalising out these areas, with the idea ultimately, obviously, to put a bit of a capsule around them and then have them ready for RC testing. So 2.1 at the moment, and it's looking good so far.
And Andy, what about these three new additional priority targets? These sound interesting.
Yeah, look, it's great to be able to have this freedom to go and test these new target areas. So 2.2 is about a kilometre or so to the northeast of where I'm standing now. 2.1 is just behind me, and that's a 1.2 kilometres of strike, which is what we love. There's actually some good rock exposure there, some good sampling, some good geological mapping's been able to be done. So we're able to get a really good picture on the surface of what things look like. So very happy with that one. And again, like I said, to have 1.2 kilometres of strike to be testing straight up is fantastic. So some of the central areas of that'll be sort of 100-metre line spacings, 200s and even 400s. Again, with the idea that we've got enough metres up our sleeve, if the sort of the 200s between them both look good in some certain sections or along some the trends, well, then we've got the capacity to infill the lines as we go. So it's a great way to be heading into these new areas. So that's 2.2. Then we're heading up to 5.2, which is up sort of 4 or 5 k's to the northwest of me, and it's really interesting. 5.1 looked good, and so we're sort of happy to be in that part of the world, in that part of the mineralised corridor 5. It's south of this $1 million mine that Northern Star completed mining sort of last year, and they're actually inside this big intrusive, whereas we're sort of more looking at the structural settings that are wrapping around this intrusive. So that's another target. And then 1.5, which is down to the south, another 3 or 4 kilometres to the south. Again, an area where some high-grade rock chips have been sampled and collected in the past. Geologically looks good. Bunch of old sort of scattered workings down there. We've got a big intrusive just to the east of us, and we're just looking at the edge of that intrusive. So it's fantastic to be able to get the rig into these areas for the first time, and we'll see what we see.
And just from a timing perspective, Andy, you're expecting this work to wrap up in October, are you?
Yeah. Look, there's roughly a month's worth of drilling to get the 10,000 metres done, and so we started a few days ago. It'll roughly take us through till then. We'll start seeing assay results into November, so sort of the first week of November, and if all goes to plan, that sort of second, third week of November, we'll see everything from this program. So again, now the weather's as beautiful as it is. We expect to be able to stick to a fairly good timeline.
And not to forget Crusader Templar. Andy, how are those mine studies progressing?
Yeah, look, really good. Very, very happy with that. So we did this diamond drilling a few months ago, and there was 4 main components to it. We've received the waste rock characterisation and the water reports. Nothing to see here. All nice and benign and clear. So we're happy with those. Preliminary met test work is starting to come through, and we expect to see the final of that sort of the end of next week. And again, the work to date, no deleterious elements at all in that one. So again, very benign, very clean ore. And the idea of that program was to mimic the ore in the oxide transition and fresh, both in the Crusader potential pit and in the Templar pit. So that's looking very positive, and no surprises, which is ultimately what we would like. And the geotech the same. The discussions with the consultant, that's all moving along as we'd expect it to. And we're going to see that in the next week or so as well, the final results there. So once we get through to the end of next week, we'll have all of that work in, update the scoping study, and then we're ready to sort of really move forward as quick as we can. Obviously, I'm up on the site at the moment in Kalgoorlie, meeting with bunches of different contractors, consultants, technical groups, mining groups, trucking, haulage, processing options, all of that sort of work, that pre-work that we're doing. So and everything to date's moving along in a very positive space, as you can imagine, with the gold price at 38.40. I mean, it's a time. Just driving out here this morning, the road is awash with haul trucks hauling people's ore into town. So it's certainly you notice it on the ground out here that the gold price is certainly significant and very high by traditional. It's never been this high, so it's a great time to be taking advantage of that great gold price.
Correct. Andy, good to see you on site. All the best for the drilling. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Andrew.